Hey everybody, welcome to Answers with Joe channel. I am Joe, and today I am doing a Wednesday live stream news segment. Now, this is something I've been threatening to do this for a long time, and it seems like every single Wednesday of the last couple of months I've been planning on doing one of these, and it just always falls through. Something always happens. So I would love to hear your feedback on this. This is a little bit of a test. I appreciate you guys joining, and I really would like to hear your feedback on this. Let me know what you think. This is a new thing. Please forgive any hiccups or any working out the kinks on this, because I am famously awful at live streaming. So basically, this is how this is going to work. I've got a little format going here. So today I have 3 stories that I've just run across. I do a lot of research, as you can imagine, on various stories and whatnot. For my videos, and I figured it'd be kind of fun to share stories that I run across that are addendums to topics that maybe I've already talked about, or just things that I think are interesting and I think you guys might like. So that's basically what this is. So I've got 3 of them for you today. You guys chat it up in the live chat all you want, but I am going to just kind of plow through these stories and kind of give you a little just an appetizer for it. All the links for these stories are down in the description below, so you can go get a fuller picture. And at the end, I'm going to do what I'm calling the Live 5. What is the Live 5? The Live 5 is I'm going to basically set up 5 minutes. I'm going to have a timer on screen and everything, and I'm going to jump into the live chat, answer any questions that are all the questions that I can. I make no promises, to the best of my ability. And if maybe I can't answer it, but it sounds like an interesting topic for a video, it might become a video. You never know. But the point of the story is all the questions and stuff like that, I'm going to do it at the end. I am going to try to keep it to 5 minutes, simply because my live streams tend to go a while. I get a little talky, and I don't think anybody really wants to sit through an hour-long live stream. At least that's been my experience. So I'm going to try to keep these short, 15 to 20 minutes. We'll see how I do. And yeah, so let's jump right into it. So the first story, let me share my window here. Do you remember the Zuma Satellite? From back in January, SpaceX launched the Zuma Satellite. It was a very super secret mission for an undisclosed government agency, some kind of spy satellite. It was a $3.5 billion satellite, and it did not get into orbit. This was a huge scandal. I did a couple videos about it. Obviously, SpaceX took a lot of the blame, and they claimed that it wasn't their fault. Northrop Grumman built the satellite, and of course, they didn't want to take They didn't want to take the blame for it either, so there was a big back and forth. Well, the big story that came out in the Wall Street Journal, I believe, on Monday, was that a couple of different investigations, one of them was a governmental investigation, one of them was conducted by the industry, basically cleared SpaceX. SpaceX is in the clear. It is not their fault, according to both of these investigations. What apparently seemed to have happened, and again, this is a super secret satellite, so we're kind of going on a little bit of speculation and assumptions here, because there's a lot we don't know. But basically, the Zuma satellite had a lot of very sensitive parts that could be damaged by vibration. So Northrop Grumman actually built the payload adapter that attached to the second stage of the Falcon 9. And there was always, and I talked about this in one of my videos, I want to say I called it, told you so, there was a communication error between the payload adapter and the Falcon 9. So instead of letting go of the satellite, the Falcon 9 second stage thought that it had disengaged, decoupled, and began deorbiting and went back through the atmosphere. And that seems to be exactly what happened, in a sense. There was some kind of communication error. Northrop Grumman did not use the typical payload adapter that they normally do because of this vibration issue that they were concerned about. So they built a new one, and there was some kind of flaw in this new one that sent a signal to the Falcon 9 second stage that it had detached. It sounds like, according to the report, that it did detach, but it was already on its way down into the atmosphere and deorbiting by the time it detached. So they believe it went down somewhere in the Indian Ocean. So if you want to know all about what Zuma was all about, just go down to the bottom of the Indian Ocean. You might find it there. Good luck with that. So that's good news. That's good news for SpaceX. They were never really in any major trouble because the U.S. Air Force was still kind of backing them. They were saying, no, we're not canceling our flights with them anymore because of that. So, I mean, I think they were kind of in the clear the whole time, but this kind of confirms it and makes it official. So good for them. So there you go. That's that story. Second story is all about Virgin Galactic. So, space tourism is starting to be a thing. And that's super exciting to me. I think at some point in our lifetimes, we could expect to go up into space. Just pay a ticket and go up into space. I will be talking about this a little bit in Monday's video. Hint, hint. Won't give away too much. But so Virgin Galactic, they started off strong. They were going well for a while there, obviously owned by Richard Branson. They were going to do space tourism. They were going to launch people up into space. And they had an accident in 2014. Their, I think it was called the VSS Enterprise, did not land the way it was supposed to. It landed in many pieces. And sadly, some people died from that. And so that kind of set them back a bit. But they've been retesting and they've been building new vehicles. Actually, I believe the original one was built by Scaled Composites. This one was the first one built by Virgin Galactic in-house. And it's called the VSS Unity. Now, the way Virgin Galactic works, if you don't know, there's the Spaceship 2 is what is called. It's like a carrier plane sort of thing. And the actual spaceship part, the VSS Unity, attaches underneath. Let me get my hands in there. Let me put it right in front of the camera. And so it flies up to a certain altitude. In this case, it was 45,000 feet. And then Spaceship 2 detaches, and a rocket fires and it takes off. So they've tested this ship before. And all they've done so far is just detach and then glide down to a landing. They never fired the engine before. Well, I believe, when was this? April 9th? So, yeah, on Monday or over the weekend, they fired the engine for the first time. And it went up to 84,261 feet, or 16 miles. All of you non-America people out there that are angry that I'm using the imperial measurements there, I get that a lot. This is what I have. I'm sorry, you're just going to have to do the math. But so anyway, it went up to about 16 miles, not quite the edge of space. The Kármán line, which is what they consider the edge of space, is about 60 miles up. So not even really considered suborbital at that point. But it was successful. They went up to that height. They came back down. They engaged their tail booms, and that's called a feathered reentry, I believe is what they call it. And came down, had a perfect landing, and all was good. In fact, there's a little video I could share for you right here so you can see. Oh, I backed it up too much. See, I looked at it beforehand. It screwed me up. Here we go. Dramatic music. There's some pretty cool shots here, actually. It's pretty cool. That one, that's awesome. Anyway, it's no mannequin in a Tesla, but that's pretty cool. So they're saying that this is entering the final phase of testing, so that hopefully in the next few years they'll start actually taking passengers. Again, $250,000. Come on, save it up. Don't go to Starbucks a few times. You'll be able to afford it. The hope is that price will come down over time, not just through them, but through other rocket entities that have things in the works. Again, talking about that on Monday, so check out them. So, final story. On Monday, I did a video about ancient inventions. And one of the topics that I almost talked about, but I didn't, not for any reason, it just got left out, was the Viking Sunstones. So, the Vikings were expert navigators at a time before there were compasses. And there's always been a lot of mystery around exactly how they did what they did. So, one of the stories that went back to some of the old writings from the Viking days was of sunstones. And they never really were sure exactly how the sunstones worked, but they apparently gave them the ability to navigate even when it was cloudy or even in twilight conditions. As you know, up in that part of the world, the sun can be behind clouds quite a bit. and that can make it hard to navigate by the sun if you can't see the sun. So basically, there's a guy, an archaeologist named Gabor Horvath. I'm probably totally murdering that name. It's kind of my thing. He has this theory that they were able to do this using crystals of calcite. That's what the sunstone was, according to him. And calcite is basically a polarizing crystal. So the scattered rays of the sun that come through the clouds in the atmosphere actually hit this crystal and focus down on navigation charts, which gives them the position of the sun and allows them to go where they need to go. So he tested this out with a computer simulation, having them in the simulation measure the sun every 3 hours or something like that. And they were able to get from Iceland to Greenland, which is a 1,600-mile journey, 92% of the time. They were able to get it right in the simulation anyway, 92% of the time. So this is the new theory that they're working on, and it sounds pretty cool. An interesting little side note to this, by the way, is that Scandinavian pilots back in the 50s and 60s used a similar technique. They had a sheet of polarizing plastic that they would put over their navigation so that they could guide by the sun. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's like the pilots of the 50s and 60s rediscovered a method for navigating that the Vikings had perfected thousands of years before. So that's pretty neat. Obviously, there's a lot more to it in this article. It's linked down below. I invite you to go check it out. I thought that was really neat, and I thought that kind of added on to the topic from Monday in a nice little wrapped up package there. So there you go. I hope you found those interesting. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments and in the live chat and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do this Live 5 thing. The Live 5. So I'm going to put up a timer. Boom! So yeah, I'm going to jump into the live chat. I'm going to answer as many comments as I can. I will say I will answer any comment. You don't have to do a super chat or anything like that, but if you do a super chat, I am absolutely going to answer your question because you did a super chat. I'm not above a bribe. And because you're supporting the channel, so of course I'm going to. So here we go. Starting the timer. Tick, tock, boom. All right, let's go into the live chat. What we got here? Any knowledge of the Malaysia Flight 370 lost over the Indian Ocean a few years ago? No, that's a good question. That's from Ben Pearson. I don't think I heard anything new about that. I would have to go look it up. Conan Skyfire. That's a name I haven't seen in a while. How have I been, Joe? I've been very good. Thank you for asking. Things are very good. I just got insurance again, so I'm a little bit poorer than I used to be. Have I considered videos on advanced infrastructure projects? Asks Matt Teo. Advanced infrastructure projects, are they like mega projects? There's a few channels that I watch that talk about mega projects quite a bit. I believe the Daily Conversation was one of them. China's doing a lot of mega projects these days. It's kind of hard to keep up with them. I'll write that down. It's not a bad idea. Can't spend this whole 5 minutes writing stuff down, but that's a good idea. Go back up. Something about Titan drones. Well, here. Kuya Milifune asked, do I have a degree in anything? Yes, a very useless degree in radio, TV, film. People always ask if I have some kind of science degree. I do not at all. James Cogwell, am I planning on going on a cruise? Not anytime soon. We'll see. What do I think about Stratolaunch? That is one of... Okay, there's many different space entities that I've been looking into that I'm going to be doing videos on. There's obviously SpaceX that I've talked about endlessly. There's Rocket Lab. There's Blue Origin. All these different types of... Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there, and that's one of them. I'm going to be talking about many of these. So what do I think about it? You'll just have to wait and see. It's coming. Red Rexy, would I grow a full beard? Is this not a full beard? Is this not full enough beard for you? Is this not... Have I not reached peak beard? I don't think I want anything much longer than this. It starts to get itchy and weird, and I'm still not even used to this, but I think this has become like a brand for the channel now, so I'm kind of stuck with it. But it goes away every once in a while because I just can't take it. Tico. Will there be some videos about Nikola Tesla inventions? It's not a bad one. Might be now. Let's see. What about... Let's see. I'm going to go back down. Do I even science? I science from time to time. Let's see. Colonization prospect. Please explain. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about there. Why don't I have a Texas accent? Asked Justin B. That's a very good question. I don't know. I have born and raised in Texas. I just said that. I've never lived anywhere outside of Texas, but somehow my sister and I lost our accents a long time ago. I used to think I never had an accent, and then I would go back and find an old video of me when I was a kid. And I mean, I talked just like this. I couldn't even believe it was me. And I literally was watching it, and I thought like somebody was talking off screen, and it just happened to time up with my lips. Like there's just no way that's actually me. But no, I used to have an accent, and it went away. I don't know. Maybe I watched too much TV. Fahim Ahmed asked me to tell him a zook. I don't know what that means. Sorry, man. Do I even lift, bro? I need to be lifting more. I've been trying to be better about it. What's next for Elon's Space Roadster? Does he plan to revive it when it gets around? I was thinking about that the other day. I'm sure at some point in my lifetime, if I'm lucky enough to not get hit by a bus, somebody will go retrieve the Roadster, or at least go find it. I mean, it's out there. I'm sure they're tracking it. When we get to the point where they're asteroid mining and collecting asteroids, I'm sure somebody's going to go out and find it. And I'm really curious to see what kind of condition it's in once they get it. It's going to be interesting. Hello from Croatia. Hello back. Will there be a Kepler vid, like the Kepler Space Telescope? Or a Kepler the astronomer? I would have to see. Hey, John Garcia. Thank you, sir. Can I say hi to my little boy, William? He loves Iron Man. When can we fly like him? Hello, William. How you doing? William Garcia. When will we be able to fly like Iron Man? That's a good question. Probably never. I think the energy source in Iron Man is pretty theoretical and fictional, and not really something we're going to be seeing, unfortunately. Although there are like flying suits and stuff like that. That might be getting close. All right, 8 seconds left. Who we got left? Is Tesla going to be okay? I've been hearing they're going through some stuff. Marcus Aurelius. I didn't know the timer made a noise. All right, I'm going to answer that one in the live or the super chat that was asked just afterwards. Check out Ben Sullins from Teslanomics. He did a video, I want to say last week, where he really debunked a lot of the stories that you're hearing about the doomsday scenario of Tesla. And I know exactly what you're talking about because I follow them really closely, and I've just been seeing one doomsday article after another that are falling apart. I think they're actually in better shape than we think. Go check out Ben Sullins' Teslanomics channel because he explains it pretty well. Volatile 0701, let me get to that question. Hang on. Wow, this is moving really fast. Am I afraid of AI in my current view on the singularity? I'm not as afraid of it as I used to be, just because I think it's actually moving a little bit slower than we think it is. There's a lot that goes into that answer, a lot more than what I'm giving right now. My view on the singularity, actually at this point, is that we are already in the middle of it. I think it's not just like an event that's going to happen. I think it's something that's a long process that began probably in the Industrial Revolution. When you look at the big picture, the big scheme of things, like everything kind of, I won't say everything started there. There was a lot of preamble that kind of led up to that, but I think that the explosion in technology began back then, and we're right in the middle of it. It's just a lot slower than we think it is. Let's see, I think there was one more super chat that I'll answer, and that will be the end of this. Michael Wade, how about the use of tethered drones for deciding windmills or firefighting? Tethered drones for de-icing windmills. Oh, okay, sorry. I don't know. I never thought of that. It would have to be a really strong drone. I'm thinking about those, what are they called? The in-hang, the personal piloted drone that you can actually sit in. It'd have to be something of that weight, I imagine, to be able to actually handle like a fireman's hose or something like that. I've never. Is that something that's going on that I don't know about? Because it's not a bad idea. That's interesting. Foodie Nut Guy also gave me a super chat. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. Okay, so I was saying I was going to try to keep these short and try to not go too long with it. So that's probably about all the time I should spend on this right now. Let me know what you think of this. And I want to thank you guys all for joining. Please let me know if you enjoy this, if you want me to keep doing it. If I do, it would be on Wednesday afternoons, probably around 2 in the afternoon, my time anyway. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about it. Thank you guys again for joining. If you're watching this after the fact and maybe you've just stumbled on this channel somehow, this is not typically what I do. I normally have much more researched videos and cover all kinds of science-related topics on Mondays, random topics on Thursdays, so you can go check those out. And yeah, I'll leave you with that. You guys, there's a new video coming out tomorrow and a video coming out on Monday. So we're going to have stuff to watch. Awesome. You guys have a good one. And again, let me know what you think. Take care. Love you guys.